coffee commercials, because I'd love to
Exactly.
have coffees sponsor us and send free coffee over each time. That'd be awesome. That'd be a goal of mine.
But
I'll do
even
that.
saying,
I want Carvel and coffee.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Indie Music Network podcast presented by Not Dead Yet Media. This is Heather Armas, Rebecca Carroll, and Russ Rieger back here for part 2 of our social media series, and we hope you enjoy it.
So, yes, it's 10,000 hours. Yes, if we're talking about 101, you're starting from scratch to do it. But if you're already an artist, you're already, in a sense, vulnerable. And it's not like just in America, but in Ireland or England, people aren't busking out on the streets and then videoing that and doing that. And you're not seeing that on Instagram. So there's, there's you doing everything you can to get a gig and then doing well so that you get asked back, and then getting those, whatever, 10 fans to be 30 and 30 to be 50. That's a time honored tradition that's been going on since the 60s or even before that, right?
yeah,
That's touring. That's a touring base. The social media is, again, the music industry, to me, the basic thing of breaking hasn't changed. It's the technology that keeps changing.
hmm
But what's happened now is, since you could talk to the world, social media, what we're trying, I guess the biggest point we're trying to say is it's actually one of the best tools in your toolbox and is a friend. But recognizing that it is not easy, all of this stuff is hard. And although so much that's more in your control, that makes you have a lot of jobs and a lot of hats to wear. So I'm just trying to find ways to make it a lifestyle, because it's through touring and social media. Those are the two fundamental places where you're going to get your fans, and where you're going to scale your fans and build more fans. And you need to treat both of them. Both of them are equally important, because both of them help each other and both of them feed on each other.
well, along with that, they can go hand in hand, because let's take the example of busking on the street. And, in New York City, there were so many buskers in the subways, they actually ended up developing a program. So you have to audition.
Yeah.
You have to audition, and you actually get a banner and you get a QR code and all this, for discovery. But the idea of, if you're on a particular corner busking, not every, there's only going to be a finite number of people that are going to walk by and see you. But if you set up your phone and you play a song as if you're, think about busking, but doing it for social media, not only can you have multiple takes if you're not happy with, with how the song turned out, but think of it as the idea that you're doing it digitally for more people to potentially see.
But again, it works. There's a great UK band that I love, that I know my friends text me and said, of course Russ is going to love this. They're called the Molotovs. I mean, because they're like, they sound like the Jam, and they look like they came out of this. I mean, they're just, I love them. You know how I found them? Social media busking. They were playing outside. That's all. I mean,
Love it.
whether orchestrated or not, it's not like, I'm sure these things are planned, because I would plan them. But the point is that they're in England.
Yeah.
So I'm now one of their biggest fans, and listened, and they did a great. I mean, you can only do so much with Bowie, but they did a great Suffragette City cover. I mean,
Wow.
I listen to them all the time, right? Every weekend. There's one of and they haven't even put their full album out yet. I'm in New York, and they got me from England. You couldn't have done this before.
Yeah.
This is that's why I'm saying I understand. Look, I dislike social media too, and I don't love doing this. But, so,
True.
but the reason to do this is to both help artists and to work more, because our goal is to continue to grow as a company, and a media company and a label and a management company, to work with more artists, to have them have a full career and do this. I mean, we've been, music's a religion to us, and we are those fans. I mean, we are those champions. So it's only taking that, but it's just a perfect example of someone doing something live, combining it with social media, and now having a US fan that's actually now an advocate, because again, for free,
Right.
I'm talking about them all the time, just like I do Frank Turner, because I'm more of an Anglophile and I usually love UK music, right? But how else would they get me unless they came to the US? And how are they going to come to the US without having being signed to a certain thing or getting an agent that would get them there? And how are they going to do that without a fan base? Well, that's what social media is. So they're talking, they're doing something live and then performing to the world. And again, you're not trying to capture the world. You're not, if you're lucky, something happens and explodes. But as long as you pick people off, like me as an example, which happens all the time, you're building an army of fans. And again, fans are your team that are unpaid, that work for you, and all they want are certain promotions that you could do, like you mentioned with 6 Foot Blonde. Bring 5 more people, come to sound check. There's all these things you're able to do, but you're blowing up in a city, but you're also talking to the world. And if that is to me, it's more about, if an artist could view that as a mindset,
Mm-hmm.
then social media becomes, okay, I know it still sucks, but look what I'm able to do about it. Look what leverage it's giving me. Look what it's able to do for me. And if you have that kind of feeling to it, if you could change your mindset to it, to going like, I may not always enjoy it, but this is freaking important, I'm going to go do it. Now you're halfway home. Then it's just a matter of what we keep saying is, do your lifestyle. Don't try and be gimmicky. Don't try and do something different. Don't not be yourself. It has to still be authentic. But if you do that, and so everything you do becomes content, and it's just a matter of editing. Now it's pain in the ass to edit, pain in the ass to post, but it was a pain in
Schedule
the ass.
those posts,
It
you
was a pain in
guys.
the ass in the 70s and 80s and 90s. There was, trying to get gatekeepers to pay attention to you and do it. So it's always fucking hard, and it always sucks. But it's at least now you have an opportunity to do more than ever before. That was my rant. I'm sorry.
No, it's a
Mic
great
drop.
rant. But I think too, it's going back to what you said about focusing on your slice of fans, starting there. Then looking at, I need to post to the universe. It can grow. And you can grow your following online, but then you can take some of these things and use analog tactics too, right? Because we talk about, building a mailing list, building an email list, and you can, start to ask people for emails at gigs, because that's another way of you getting in, of an artist getting into people's lives, people's homes, because literally if you are an email, you are literally in a fan's hands. So I think that there is a real corollary between some of the social media benefits, and then taking those fans offline to invite them, to invite them to shows, invite them to check out your merch, get on a mailing list, share with friends. I think that they really go hand in hand.
They do, and that's where your pre-save campaign comes. That's where your record release party happens with your friends in your hometown, which also gets shown.
Yep.
And that's why getting emails and cell phone numbers are the most important. That's why DMing people that do anything positive to you. I mean, skip the crap. Anybody negative you don't need to do. But anybody that's positive or going in and you recognize them, again, that's like talking to a fan backstage. Think about if you're on Instagram or wherever you're on, because there's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's YouTube, there's Threads, there's all this, right? But wherever you're on, if you're recognizing them, if you see them, so that's the way to see them. That's like saying hi backstage. So again, everything you're doing is amplified and doing it. But I want to go back something Heather said before, because I think it's really fundamentally important. Whatever you're going to do, and you guys could talk about this better than I can, there needs to be a consistency. So like once you start, I don't know how you schedule it, but once you start, there's got to be a pattern. It can't just be I did this now and then I walked away for 3 months.
Right. I mean,
In the show
thankfully,
notes, we'll link the best times and stuff to do some of this.
I mean,
But it's the
thankfully,
consistency. Is it 3 times a week? Is it? I'm asking you guys when you do consistency, because you have to be able to maybe start slow but figure out a way. But it's got to be consistent. That's the biggest thing I know.
I
But I
mean,
don't know
listen,
how often.
listen, having done social media, for various clients for about 15 years, I always, if people really have an aversion to it, I say start with once a week. Just number one, just start.
Right.
Start with once a week. The great thing now is that there, with a lot of platforms, you can schedule the post. There's also free tools like Hootsuite and Later, and we can put some of those suggestions in the show notes where you can actually schedule things out. So if you're going to go on vacation, or if you're going to be away, you can schedule things to go out over a weekly basis or a monthly basis too.
Even if the app like TikTok, if it's like, oh my God, this is not letting me like schedule this, try it on desktop because a lot of times it works there for whatever reason. If the app isn't
Yep.
updated, whatever it is. Also, really quick, I know it's like, okay, if I'm making a short video or whatever, I'm going to post it on Reels, I'm going to post it on TikTok. Do not forget about our girl, our gorgeous, gorgeous girl, YouTube Shorts. We love YouTube Shorts.
Yes.
It also 150% more likely that people are going to view your actual long content or long form content, so music videos, vlogs, whatever you have up on there. YouTube is the forgotten stepchild, as I always say. She has to be remembered.
But they're the biggest. People might not always know that, but they're the biggest. So,
Yeah.
and they have the best transparency for data for an artist, and they also offer the artist the best deals to be able to make money. So,
Isn't it also like most people in the world find their music on YouTube or something?
yeah, it's a better discovery platform. Again,
Yeah.
for an artist, you want to be everywhere. I think what you're adding, which is really strong, is no matter what, in a sense, your home base is YouTube, but go everywhere because
Yeah.
TikTok is very trendy. So you want to be on there, but they'll be like, who are you covering and how are you doing this? It has a trendiness to it that oftentimes could feel unauthentic to an artist, but it is nonetheless an incredibly important platform to be on no matter what. And again, a lot of this is the 10,000 hour thing. It's just like you learn as you play live and you grow and you learn how to do it. You try things. Again,
Yeah.
all need to be true to you, but there are going to things that you put out that just don't have any. Like no one shared it. I mean, it's just going to happen. Just like the 4 people who are listening to us now. I mean, they may not share it. So you
Right.
you then do it
I'm like,
again,
hey,
and you do
mom.
it again, or you do something else, and then you see. So it's not. That's what I'm saying. If you incorporate into your lifestyle, something's always going to be different. But what you have that no one else has is you have your own point of view.
Yes.
Your point of view is the most unique. Your view, the way you write music, is the most unique. No one else's. I mean, everything rhymes, and people borrow and take, but and that's always been the case, and that's completely fine and fair. But there is a point of view that you have that at least you're starting out unique. So as long as you stay true to that, something will work. And when you find something that works, you go, all right, I'm going to double down on that. There's a lane for me. I'm going to keep going. That's connecting to people. And it's the same thing of playing songs live. That song didn't work, but this one's really going. This one's going on the record.
Right.
It's the same thing. So I'm trying to level the playing field of, it's hard enough as it is. Our biggest enemy is the traffic, and then how do you break through? So not to be inundated by the world, but to find your audience, and these are both a micro and macro way to be able to find your audience, and that's all you care about. The slice, just get in. Once you go, then you keep building. So even if you're at 50,000, you want to be more than that, so you
Right.
want to get to 200,000. So it works whether Heather said before there's 4 people like listening to us now, or you're at 100,000 wanting to go to 800,000, because then all the leverage in the world changes. So there's always this, you always reach a mountain peak and then find another one. So, but it's the same methodology. It's the same thing, just scaling bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, but there are more tools. The same thing, but it keep going. So I think that the biggest thing is that social media is a necessary evil, but it can be a wonderful thing used properly, and you should use it properly because that's your best chance to be able to do. And again, it's your megaphone to the world, just by where you're sitting. Like for us right now, because we'll take clips of this and we'll put it out social media, and we'll do
Exactly.
the same thing. We're doing the same thing we're telling everybody to do. We're walking the same walk, the same vulnerability, the same path, obviously with much less talent. But
Clearly.
and if we, yeah,
Hey,
on my
speak for
side,
yourself. All right.
clearly, yeah. Well, I am speaking for myself. Never speak for you guys ever, and I would be killed if I did. But I'm saying that it's the same. We're experiencing the same thing on that, and I just think that again, it's not one on one equal in that way because an artist is even more vulnerable. But it just speaks to the point that we're in the same water together.
Okay, so if you're now sitting here being like, that information was great, but what are some things that I really can do today, right now? Number one is backpost and continue to keep posting on YouTube Shorts. So backposting is just taking like your favorite videos you've posted on TikTok or Reels and putting them onto YouTube Shorts, in addition to all of the new content that you're going to put on there. Create an Instagram broadcast channel, create a link tree, which is a link in bio. You can have all of your social media in one spot, a Discord or any other platform to connect directly with your fans. Again, it's okay if it's just friends and family at first. Same with going live on YouTube, on TikTok, on Reels, just try, or on Reels, on Instagram, just try it. Again, even if it's like to your friends, hey, hop on. Go film 10 videos. I know we had said before too, like, oh, yeah, maybe they even just posting once a week. Filming is a muscle, so go out and film 10 videos. Lastly, reply to comments on all platforms. So if somebody is saying, I love your song, say, thanks. And those are my 5 things.
So I wanted to dedicate this episode to a friend and a champion of indie artists for his entire career, Mark Lipsitz. I met Mark too many years ago to count. He has always been a champion for indie artists. He founded Seed Records 30 years ago. Most recently, he was at Bar None Records. Always passionate about music, always passionate about helping indie artists, and we lost him too soon. But Mark, we know that you're watching over all of us wherever you are. So just wanted to say thanks for the music and thanks for the memories.
That's lovely. Thank you for doing that.
Thanks for listening to the Indie Music Network podcast. If you found this episode helpful, share it with an artist or industry friend. And if you want more practical, no bullshit strategies to help your music career, hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Follow us on socials at Not Dead Yet Media and contact us at our website, notdeadyetmedia.com/contact. The music you're hearing today is artist Tosh Wolf's song, Electric Blue. Until next time, keep making music that matters. And remember, in the words of Frank Turner, we can get better because we're not dead yet.